We just got our first full gameplay trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, and there is a lot to talk about. So first, I'm gonna show you my reaction, and then we're gonna go into the frame-by-frame analysis. Here we go. Scott, don't do this to me. But Scott, we're friends, so the state of play is FNAF. There you go. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
So let me explain the situation. One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing, leaving our property abandoned in his warehouse.
What?
Your job is simple. Enter the warehouse and retrieve the technology that he was developing for us. It's a kind of prototype endoskeleton that can adapt to any costume and become any character.
No way!
Malfunctioning, so just be aware of the slim but non-zero chance that you could sustain significant injuries while attempting to retrieve.
Oh my god!
But not limited to death or dismemberment. We fully expect the retrieval process to go smoothly and without incident. But just in case, we suggest you get your affairs in order before arriving.
What? There's the thing from the demo! What in the world? Oh, it's Tiger Rock! Oh, it's the Faz Wrench! What is that? It's Jackie! DJ Music Man, old version!
Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person.
It's old!
A valued member of the Fazbear team.
It's old DJ Music Man! June 13th! Oh my god!
Greetings from Moonhood. We're the creators of the Midnight Walk. Cozy horror game created entirely in clay, where you will journey down a night.
So first we get the Steel Wool logo with the eye turning orange, which is obviously a reference to the Mimic and how his eyes were orange, as you saw in when we saw him in Ruin. And then we get a road, okay? This, obviously, is just a road. It might be nothing, but David in the story The Mimic, which was Edwin Murray's son, got hit by a car when he ran into the road. So this could be a reference to that. If I had to guess, we are driving this car, we are driving this van, pulling up to where this game takes place in Edwin's factory. And we have Hand Unit all the way in 1979. I don't know how Hand Unit is speaking in this, but also is speaking in Security Breach, which is decades later.
So let me explain the situation.
We got Fazbear Entertainment on the side of the van with some balloons. It's funny that there's no like Freddy Fazbear on the logo, and that's because Freddy Fazbear wasn't really a thing yet. Like, Fazbear Entertainment was really just Fredbear's Family Diner at this point. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is coming soon.
One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing, leaving our property abandoned in his warehouse.
So basically, in the story The Mimic, Edwin Murray builds the Mimic. The Mimic starts mimicking his son dies. The Mimic is still mimicking his son after his son dies. He beats up the Mimic in a fit of grief and rage, and then basically abandons the Mimic, like leaves it in his warehouse, totally abandons the warehouse. Then we do a time skip in the books to Fazbear Entertainment employees trying to go in and acquire the Mimic. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. This is an abandoned factory where Edwin Murray, which is a contractor of Fazbear Entertainment, was working, and we are told to go to the factory and try and find the technology that Edwin was creating. There is a ton of new characters in this. We have a sheep, we have a lion, we have like a little balloon animal right here, we have like a duck right here. Yeah, it's just a warehouse, and Edwin's his whole job was turning mascot costumes into animatronics. So that's why you see a bunch of mascot costumes in this factory along with animatronics. We have a jester, it looks like right here. It looks like an all yellow jester. That looks terrifying. Like, the way it's smiling is it looks like Jackie. It almost looks like Jackie a little bit.
Job is simple. Enter the warehouse and
so then we got a generator, and I think based on what I played in the Secret of the Mimic demo, the generators are going to be a big deal. Like, we are going to be turning on generators in order to progress throughout the factory. So that's probably what we saw here with the opening of the door. We got some drawings on the wall. Okay, so the drawings right here are, it looks like the mushroom character, a star, and I can't really make out that one, but we have like an office, and we obviously see like older technology here. Oh, we see the mushroom character right here.
Your job is simple. Enter the warehouse and retrieve the technology that he was developing for us. It's a kind of prototype endoskeleton that can adapt to any costume and become any character.
It's a prototype endoskeleton that can turn into any character and wear any mascot costume, aka the Mimic. And in this, you can see mascot costumes, some familiar, some not. This one is not familiar. This looks like, I want to say like a dog, like a poodle or something. I know there was a poster in the Secret of the Mimic demo that was called Sharpay's Salon, and it almost looked like that with a poodle on it. We see the elephant from Ruin, which looks traumatized. The elephant looks a little traumatized, and it looks a lot different than we saw it in Ruin. And I don't know if that's on purpose or that's Steel being like, we just want to fix up the design that from Ruin, just make it look a little better. And this almost looks like a duck. Like, am I wrong? It looks like a duck to me.
We suspect it may be malfunctioning, so just be aware of the slim but non-zero chance that you could sustain significant injuries while attempting to retrieve it.
Okay, so the Mimic is malfunctioning, aka it's getting vengeance. It got beat up by Edwin Murray. He hit it over the head a bunch of times, and now it is mimicking that. It's hurting whoever it comes into contact with. Here, we see the Tiger Rock mascot costume, which is the big version of the little plushie we saw in the Help Wanted 2 update with the one blue eye, the one green eye. That is basically the Mimic's form. It's the form we see it digitally in the books, and it's the form now we're seeing it physically. So in this looks like the chase sequence from the demo that we played at PAX, where Jackie is chasing us down a hallway. I remember seeing these rats on the crate and thinking, what is this rat gonna do? We'll see in a second. So then we see the elephant mascot costume in this hallway with some Fredbear's Family Diner posters on the wall, the exact posters that we saw in Security Breach. And this looks like it's the Mimic dressing up as the elephant.
Attempting to retrieve it, including but not limited to death or dismemberment. We fully expect.
So then we have the other part of the Jackie chase from the demo at PAX West. So Jackie basically comes from this vent and then chases us across this bridge right here. And then the bridge kind of falls as Jackie is chasing us. So we have to try and not fall down as the bridge is breaking, and Jackie's weight is just completely destroying the bridge. But yeah, this is part of the Jackie chase, which I believe is just going to be like one section of the game. I don't think Jackie's going to be there the whole time. Maybe she will, I don't know.
But just in case, we suggest you get your affairs in order before arriving.
I think this is the new design of the Mimic. I don't think the Mimic originally looked like we saw it in Ruin. I think it's going to have a new, probably creepier design. Once again, the mushroom character. I don't know what's up with this, but it almost looks like coils. Like it looks like the top of an old stove with like the coils. That's what it looks like to me.
But just in case, we suggest you get your affairs in order before arriving.
So this is interesting to me. This thing looks just like the thing that we see in Security Breach, the like containment thing that where we fix up Freddy, add the upgrades to Freddy in Security Breach. I have no idea why it looks like that. It could be a coincidence. It could be reused in Security Breach. Like they just brought this thing to the Pizzaplex and it's like, yeah, we can repurpose this. I don't know. Also, this looks like a puzzle down here where you have to like guide them so they connect properly, you know, twist these and turn these. Eventually, we're going to see us pulling this lever right here and opening the puzzle. There you go, and there's a closer look at the elephant mascot costume. Okay, so that mailbot was in the demo for PAX West. It's basically a paper shredder bot. It says back to work, and there's also a present here. So it looks like we're doing the similar thing to Security Breach, where we're gonna find the presents throughout the building. There will probably be lore in there. It might just be some collectible items. It could be anything. What if we find a little picture of Henry and William Afton? This is the mailbot, and that's the factory down there. This place is gonna be huge. It looks like this place is huge. And this right here actually might be a bigger mechanic than we might think, because in the demo, that was the handle on Jackie's box. When we winded up Jackie and Jackie popped out, the handle popped off of Jackie's box, and we were able to use that handle to open up another door in the place. So I think Jackie's handle is going to help us get to different places in the factory. And once again, we have the mushroom character walking by. And then we're on the roof, and it's funny, it's interesting to point out, this is in the winter. It is snowing. At least this, to me, this looks like snow. It might be rain. It's hard to tell really, but we are on the roof of this place. We're gonna see the outside. Actually, I think for the first time in a FNAF game ever, gonna be walking free roam outside. I'm really excited to see what the outside looks like, what the skyline looks like, where we are. Like, is it gonna show us what city we're in? Is it gonna look like Hurricane Utah? And then we got another good look at Tiger Rock's blue and green eyes. right there, and I think that's going to be a big deal in this game. I think Tiger Rock might be like the final boss for the Mimic or something. I wonder if we're going to end the game with acquiring the Mimic. That's my big question. Are we going to die, or are we actually going to get the Mimic? I think we might actually successfully retrieve the Mimic because we need it for the plot, for security breach and all that stuff. And then right here, we have something similar to a Phas wrench from Ruin, and it's turning the same way. It's used the same way. I'm going to look to see if it has like the 2 prongs on it. It does. It has like the 2 prongs, just like the Phas wrench. So it's like an earlier version of the Phas wrench. And we see the B character back here that we saw on the poster from PAX West. We see like these cardboard cutout things. It reminds me of like what we saw in Security Breach and Help Wanted with the Foxy's Log Ride. We see a birthday cake right here. And then we see this computer, and this is a big part. And it says Insert Data Diver. Is that what this thing's called? It might be called a data diver. That's interesting. But we put it in there, and what do we see? Helper. The earliest, first probably version of Helpy. It says HELPER. Terminal. Welcome show sub terminal. Please select an option below. Reset welcome show. Missing executive access. Did Edwin create Helpy? That is the big question. Did Helper turn into Helpy? I don't know. I guess it could be true that Edwin created Helpy, but it seems that Helpy lives on that Phas wrench. So we're gonna carry that old Phas wrench around with us, plug it into computers, and that's how we'll be able to control things throughout the factory. What does Helper stand for? I have no idea. Leave your suggestions. What do you think Helper stands for? I actually am curious what you guys think. And then we get this character. What are you? Is the Mimic in that thing? It's like obviously a medical bot. I think this might be the carnival nurse that we saw in Help Wanted 2. The voice, and it said in the subtitles, carnival nurse. I think this might be that. This is where the carnival nurse comes from. If you see on the name tag, it says Dolly, I believe. This is wild. And it has like that Funtime faceplate design once again. It looks very similar to Jackie 2 with that same sort of like smaller mouth on the bottom and the bigger top half of the head. The eyes are in that vertical oval shape, just like Jackie. It has that like looking 2 different ways at once look that Jackie has. I think that's gonna be established as like Edwin's design, Edwin's style of creating an animatronic. And then we're back to the rat. And we're gonna be using the rat as I think a distraction. We'll be able to pick them up, wind them up, and throw them, and then we'll distract the Mimic or whatever's coming at us with that. First of all, I need to bring up Monty. Is that Monty back there? I know in the Secret of the Mimic demo, there was like an alligator similar to Monty, but the fact that this could be the origins of the Monty character, and Monty in Security Breach was not the first alligator character we got. We have the bee character. You see the bee mascot. There's multiple versions of them. I know the people working on the FNAF Wikipedia are gonna go insane with this game because there is a ton of new characters to add to there. So as you can see, we take the rat, wind it, and throw it. So that's definitely gonna be the distraction for the Mimic. We see this is part of the Jackie chase. And then music. I'm sorry, Matt Pat, I can't do it. But yeah, we have an old version of Music Man, which is the size of Godzilla. Like, why do we have in 1979 this giant spider-like animatronic that looks just like Music Man? What? How? This is the ceiling of the place and it's bright. I am flabbergasted by this. What is this? Is it Music Man? It doesn't have headphones. I have no idea what's going on here. This is insane. It is Music Man because you can see it's like ears. It's like gramophones. I think it's like the old like horn that the record player music comes out of. I believe it's called a gramophone. It is an old version of Music Man with a big top hat on its head. I don't think the Mimic is in this thing, obviously. I think it's probably the Mimic 1 program is taking over this thing and causing it to do this. But this factory looks like it's going to be destroyed by the end of the game. But this is crazy. Music Man coming back. We miss you, Mad Pat. I can't believe it. Music Man's back. And then we get Secret of the Mimic.
Not responsible for damage to property or person. Thank
Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person.
you for being a valued member of the Fazbear team.
It reminds me of the Security Breach trailer. That's exactly how the Security Breach trailer ends. That's crazy. And then we cut to this like film thing. It's almost like this is going to be a found footage game. And after we got jump scared in the demo at PAX West, after Jackie jump scared us, the film reel started playing. So that also makes me think it's going to be a found footage game. And then obviously in FNAF fashion, we have something hidden in the glitches of the film, and it is the Tiger Rock plushie or mascot costume. Once again, showing that it's going to be important, that it is basically the mascot for the Mimic. And that's it. And then we get a release date, June 13th, 2025. I already have some theories cooking up in my brain about this game, so make sure to subscribe for those. Congrats to Steelbull and Scott. You guys did amazing, and I cannot wait for the game. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.